Well, hi folks, 1st of August, excuse me, I'll just give you a quick roundup, show you what's going on up at the plot. So as you can see, all the peas are finished now, because it's just been that hot. They just finished really quickly. So I've planted I think this is the 4th lot of lettuce now, and the 3rd lot of spring onions. So I'm trying to keep the gaps filled up. You'll have to excuse the shaking. I'm on my phone, which has not got any anti-wobble thing on it. So yeah, they've all gone. The first lot of spring onions now are nearly as big as onions. Absolutely enormous, but they're still good to eat. That's the 2nd lot of lettuce and a 4th lot of lettuce over there. So I've only got those left before hopefully I can eat those, but I'm still trying to keep them growing. The red cabbage I got, because I couldn't get any of that silly broccoli to work properly. I don't know whether they'll make anything, but they do tend to grow on. Have quite a long growing season, but they're a bit small. But the shallots, the banana shallots, they need to be coming out now, I think, because if I just pull one up quickly, just to show you the size. The size of them, more than big enough. Probably £1/2 pound each, those. And they've grown really well with absolutely no water. None of them are bolted, not a single one's bolted. And they're all huge, so I'll get those up as soon as possible. Because we did have a dump of rain the other day. We had about 3 inches in about 2 hours. I've never seen rain like it, so I don't want them to get a big growth spurt on and then just all split. So the onions as well, they've done really well this year. Again, with no water, nice size, you know, decent size. Tops are flopping over now. So as soon as they start to flop over, I'll just pull each one of those up. But like I said, they've done really well, considering we've had absolutely no water, and I haven't watered anything. They've done well. Looking a bit blurred. Garlic, starting to yellow a bit, and the odd one is starting to topple over. But I did have a scrat about at one of the bulbs. They'll still grow on a bit longer. But not bad, bigger than a golf ball. So, again, with no water, really amazed how well they've grown. No rust, so they can keep growing. I'll just keep growing them until they collapse, really. Spud's doing really well, no sign of any blight. First earlies are looking a bit yellow. I did try and take some when they were a little bit small, but I've been giving them plenty of water in the last couple of weeks, so they should be about right to go. And like I said, with this flood we had, with this thunderstorm, it filled all my barrels right to the top, so I've got plenty of water now to water all this potatoes. And with the sarpo, they just keep growing and growing and growing until the frost, really, because they don't get any blight. So you just keep them going and get them as big as possible. So that's that bit. So these are some of the carrots I grow outside. They're exactly the same as the show ones I grow inside. And if I show you the tops, there, they're ready to pull now. They'll be ready to eat. I would pull one, but we don't need any at the moment. But they're just a bonus crop. Still got all the show ones to eat, all the sweet candle. What have we got? Sweet pea still firing along. As you can see, the crocosmia is coming out now, which is really early this year. Makes a nice show, but it's usually a sign that autumn's around the corner. But I think everything's just been that early this year. It's out already. And these are the peas, the mildew-resistant peas I planted, I sowed. Well, we've only got a few up so far. There's a patch there, a little patch under there, a little patch there, and a little patch there. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I hope they grow them and give them a good old trial and see if they do it, see if they are what they say and properly mildew resistant. So as you can see, I've been trying to get rid of my mare's tail. I've missed a bit now, but I just keep pulling it up whenever I see it, and it seems to be getting less and less and less. So, I don't know, I suppose I keep on top of it. Eventually, the old rhubarb sprung back to life. It looked like it was dying when we were in the drought, and then we chucked it down the other day and it's just perked up again. Some lovely red ones. I pulled this really early this year, maybe a bit more mare's tail. But no, I can certainly have a few more pickings of that, so that's not so bad. All the gooseberries picked, got a really good crop. And now onto the marrow patch. And has this grown or what? Look at it now. It hasn't half grown with the hot weather. And we have set, oh Christ, it nearly fell over. We have set the first fruit. I set that about 3 days ago, so I'll be keeping that one on that plant. And if I don't stand on it, we've got another one set on that one there. So I've got my 2 marrows set. Just going to grow 1 on each plant, so all the energy goes into the 1 marrow on each plant. And given the size of the plant, they're looking good, looking healthy. There should be plenty of energy to go into it, and who knows, we might get a 100-pounder. If the seed's anything to go by, they're all off 150-pound marrows, so we will see. All I'll do, I'll just chuck some chicken pellet fertiliser around it, because that's high in nitrogen, they like a lot of nitrogen. And then that'll be it really. Cover the marrows up, keep them out of the sun so they don't ripen off and split, and then just keep your fingers crossed and see if we get one. Right, on to normal stuff. Kale is absolutely, look at that. It's just like an explosion. Growing any weather, that's not been watered either. I did plant some turnips, thinned them out, and then the pheasants came and sat in the middle of them and nibbled them. So instead of being 4 inches apart, they appear to be about a foot apart. So it's a bit of a shame, but I'll plant some more, plenty of room. Leeks, best leeks I've grown in years. Again, considering no water, you'd have thought they'd have been going to seed. I mean, they're not big at all, anything like it, but you know, the couple of months they should be getting pretty decent. But yeah, absolutely brilliant so far. So that's good. Again, no watering. The other onions, as you can see, flopping over. So I'll just, every time I see one, I should be a bit more careful and pull them out. As you can see, they're a decent size. Some are a little bit smaller, but it doesn't matter. And I have noticed, if you can see, I've got, try and get it into focus, pink root. Can you see the roots that are pink? That's what I've got in the soil in my polytunnel. That's why I stopped growing giant onions in the soil, because that actually reduces your yield. So why on earth it's gone outside? It's not come from the polytunnel outside, it's just a disease, a fungal disease that apparently thrives when it's really hot and wet. So it's been really hot but not particularly wet, so it must be the weather that's done it. The giant runner beans, I had hundreds on, so I've chopped them off. Still too early, but we're starting to get some, about 15 inches long. I'm probably way too early for Harrogate, and I'm not very good at growing these, but it's a bit of a laugh anyway. So that's that bit. Again, no problems at all, stuff growing well. Right then, finally into the polytunnel. Bit disappointed in here, I'll show you that last thing. Yet again, Captain Cucumber Killer has struck. I'm the worst cucumber grower ever. I can grow courgettes, but they're going out of business, you know, like nobody's business. Best courgettes you'll ever want, but give me a cucumber plant and I'll kill it within 4 weeks. I don't know what it is. Been feeding them all the same. I think there's actually a disease in my soil, but I don't know. I've just not got green fingers when it comes to courgettes, to cucumbers. Anyway, little courgette just keeps pumping them out all over the place. It's sent about 5 growing tips out. I'm taking them really small, just like the size of your finger. Seems to be a bit nicer than when you leave them to get big. French beans going bonkers still. I took a big picking last night, a carrier bag full, but they're still coming. And as you see, I love them so much. I've sowed a second lot. It's a bit tricky, a bit tight, and I've planted those at the back, so we should get some until the frosts, hopefully. By then I will be really fed up with them. Right, show carrots. Found out my local show is on, so I will have something to put in it. Don't know how big they'll be. They're looking alright top wise, but I don't know what they're going to be like underneath, but they're growing okay. The other courgettes fallen over. Again, I don't let them grow a lot bigger than that because I'm getting hundreds, so there's no need. Might as well take loads of small ones. The show long carrots looking good. Again, only for my local show. I only need a set of 2, so that'll do. I should get a decent enough set, and it's a bit daft really because I'm about the only one who enters, so I usually win. I could win if I put anything in. The show, not the show potatoes, the giant spuds were absolutely covered in green fly, so much so that they were just starting to die. So I spread the heck out of it with this SB plant invigorator stuff, which is a contact pesticide. It's organic stuff, so I used a lot of that and blasted most of them off. So I had a root about. We've got a few big potatoes, so come September, we'll have a see what we've got. Right then, these carrots are just getting a bit silly now. I'll start at this end. I had a mouse digging the nest, as it always seems to do. I'll show you the sort of tops. That's not a bigger one, this is one. Look at that. It looks like about 5 carrots, but it's actually one with about 5 legs. And it's enormous, as is that one. But this is the one that looks really big here. You can just see the top. And it's got a heck of a growth on it, so... Then again, might be nothing, but we'll see again in September. Right, the onions. Well, they've sort of slowed down quite markedly. But I suppose they can't keep growing at such a silly rate, so I think the heat has actually finally got to them. They're still growing very slowly, ticking over. Still got a few leaves on. I've reduced the watering now because they've got fewer leaves, so they won't transpire as much water, so I don't want to keep the pots I nearly said very wet through. So yeah, it'll be hit and miss whether I get to £10. I think I'm 25.5 inch now with that one. 6 weeks to go. They're putting on a growth very slowly, and I reckon I need another 2 inches to be sure. So again, it's going to be close, whereas I thought I was going to absolutely walk it a few weeks ago, but they just seem to have given up the ghost a little bit. But it's still a heck of a thing. And they're all within about 1 inch of each other. And the runt of the litter, this one here that was tiny, seems to have more fresh leaves on in the rubbish compost and seems to be catching up. So, like I said, we don't know what will happen until I start pulling them up, and I won't do that until the last day before I go to Harrogate. So they've got a good 6 weeks, so we'll see how they get on. So that's it in the polytunnel. I'll just have a nip to the greenhouse, show you a few of the things that are in there. Well, I thought it's quick look in the old greenhouse, and I've never had tomatoes as good as this. These are just those tumbling tomatoes, and there's thousands literally. Getting overwhelmed with them. But just get bunches and bunches of them. They're like little plum ones. They're absolutely beautiful to eat. Really sweet, really juicy. Good stuff, loving the sun. This is one of the Joe's long chilies. I'll show you the other one, it's got longer chilies on. These are what I was growing for Harrogate, for the chilli in a pot plant. But they're getting a bit big, to be honest. Peppers, it's a bit dark in here actually. These are those banana peppers, there's loads on. They don't go much bigger than that, but they're really sweet. Lovely fried, like the Spanish do. Which you can see, there must be about 30 on that, which is good. Normal capsicums doing alright, bulking up a bit. The old jalapenos, really weak. I tried one of them, I couldn't even taste it. So, and I tried one of the others thinking it would be as weak as that, and it nearly blew my head off, but there you go. Another lot of peppers. These are getting quite big now, some of these, and actually going red, look, starting to go red, which is good. These are the Shirley, only grown one plant. I'll start cutting the leaves off now. Now that the fruits are set, just to let more light in, more air in. But you can see the size of the trusses, that's why, like I said before, I tie them up like that. Otherwise, they just rip themselves off with the sheer weight. They're like double trusses. They must be getting to near like £5 on when they're fully grown. Another one of those banana peppers. They look like they actually ripen to bright yellow or slightly red. I don't know, there was one that went a funny colour, but they're really good. I'll certainly be growing those again. They're just called banana peppers. Gardener's delight. Look at the size of trusses on these. Fantastic, like about 4 foot long truss. That's just one truss. Absolutely gorgeous again. They're just loving the sun and the heat. Again, as healthy as I've ever had them. Another one of the peppers. These are the ones that did blow my head off, and these are the ones that ripen to orange. I'm not sure what, I think they were called Apache. No, they were something else, but they were hot anyway. Anyway, a couple more of these Joe's long. I'll try and show you the length of the peppers. Look at the length of them against my arm. Probably a foot long nearly, some of them. I think that's even bigger. Look, they're a great plant though. When you get all those hanging, there must be 50 or 60, and when they all ripen, they do make a spectacular plant. But that's huge. It's only in a 10 litre pot. Anyway, look, I've got a cucumber I haven't killed. So that's the only one I've got. Anyway, that's about it, folks. Stuff's been growing absolutely fantastically in here. Weather's cooled down a bit, but it's supposed to come back next week. The warmth, thought jobs are good. That's about it, folks. See you later.